Hello, 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 hello. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I know I haven't been on for a little bit, but been a little busy getting workout. Been trying to keep up with mainstream media, keep up with the whole Ukraine war, keep up with movies, keep up with, you know, all my independent people that I've been watching. Please, thank you for anybody coming in. Please follow, share. Let's see. Dum, dum, dum. Yes, follow me, share the live, comment on all of my videos. I've been thinking about what video to do next. I was watching the Alex Jones. I feel like they attack him for free speech. I don't agree with whatever happened there. So, yeah, then I was like thinking about, I've been going over like the PlayStation and seeing what's been going on with Sony as well, and I was like, what the hell is going on with Sony? Like, I think Sony should be doing, Mr. Leader of the market, and then Sony is busy crying. I have a lot of toxic Sony fanboys that every time Sony do anything Sony do wrong, they don't call them out. They just like sign off on it. I was gonna go live last night, but I was like, I don't know if I was gonna be too loud in my house. So I was like, I'm gonna come live today, this morning, this evening, whatever. So right now it's 6:48 a.m. in the morning. Thank you, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, whoever just coming in. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for everyone coming in. And please follow me, comment, like, share. I was like, I guess PlayStation just been, I don't know, PlayStation just been doing a whole bunch of ludicrous stuff, and I feel like, unfortunately, some people are calling them out. I see they have some mutual stream here and there. You got Breakfast with Boom, he called them out. And then you got King, I think he called them out. Who else? Who else? Everborn, I think he called them out. I have a few people that I watch that call them out. But I have a lot of Sony people that prominent and just covering Sony that's just making up excuse. And it's just like even like PlayStation, what's going on, PlayStation forget about, that when it comes to gaming is a multiple it's a multiple genre. It's not just about making one type of game. It's not just about, okay, let me make all my games like, you know Tomb Raider. It's about making all type of game. Make skate game, driving game, playing game, swimming game, fishing game. you know when you have a system, you should be able to have a majority of different genre of games. I think that's how you please, especially casual gamers don't just play one type of game. They play all type of game. And casual gamers are like eight 85% of the game market. Then you have some extreme gamers for, you know the rest of the percentage that are extreme gamers. The extreme gamers have like PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and a whole bunch of other consoles, because you're just extreme. And extreme gamers are like, it's like they just want to get up in everything and be there to mess with every game. But casual gamers, 9 times out of 10, don't have all consoles. And I guess if your parents are well off, sometimes you could be a casual gamer and definitely have all consoles because your parents just buy you all of them, because you was just like a kid that grow up with money and they just buy them for you. Right? So you could be cordial and have all console if you're not somebody old enough to buy your own console. Your parents just spoil you and get you a gaming PC, get you a Xbox, get you a PlayStation, get you the Nintendo Switch, get you the Steam Deck. So I'm sure, we do have some spoiled kids out there that parents are well off and could buy them all the console just because. So that's pretty cool if you're one of those kids out there that parents well off and could just buy you all the console just because. But as I was saying, PlayStation. All right, let's. I was like thinking about this last night. Please follow me, share. I was gonna. I was like, I'm not even probably gonna put anything in the background. I'm just gonna let's see, go off this video. PlayStation. I was looking at them talking about the Activision. No, no, no. Yeah, there was. They've been crying over the Activision deal. Activision. No, no, no. Yeah, there was. They've been crying over the Activision deal. Yeah. So, as I was saying, PlayStation has been crying over this Activision deal. Thank you for all the real gamers out there that are actually speaking up and calling out bullshit when you see bullshit. I'm loving it. All of the real gamers that's not just being a toxic gamer, all of the real gamers that's actually speaking up for gamers all over the world, for people with money, for people that have a little bit of money, for people that have some money, that just overall want good gaming and also want to spread the gaming all around. And it's not about being selfish, it's about actually getting good games and good console where people could play. So that's all we need to say about that. And PlayStation here, doing all this crap is getting on my nerves. PlayStation need to stop crying and get to work. I don't want to see PlayStation crying any of that. PlayStation need to get to work. Stop crying and get to work. We have a lot of things to be doing out here. The time PlayStation take crying, they could be doing some things. Everybody that's coming in, please follow me, share, comment. All of my good peoples. I'm up in what time is it? It's 6:54 a.m. So up early in the morning. I decided I wanted to do a little rant. Let's see here. Since PlayStation wanna remake games, okay. PlayStation wanna remake games. Okay, let's see. If PlayStation really want to remake games, let's see if PlayStation really, really, really want to remake games. Let's see what we got up in this motherfucker right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, if PlayStation really want to remake game, why don't PlayStation remake Metal Gear Solid 1? For all real gamers out there, will know what Metal Gear Solid 1 is. One of the best game ever made. A game that really look dated right now. Game look like trash if you go back and try to play it because it came out like a while back. So why don't PlayStation, if they really want to make a goddamn game, this shit is pissing me off. They really want to make a good game. Why? What we got in this motherfucker right now? Why don't? Oh, that's something that they actually did. They make. Why don't they make back Final Fantasy VI remake? Why don't they make Soul Calibur 2 remake? If they really want to remake a game that actually anybody cares about or actually worth anything. Um, let's see. Why don't they make the same game that I have on the mainstream, Breath of Fire, one of the better RPG game ever made. Make Breath of Fire 2 or even Breath of Fire 1 or Breath of Fire 3, games that actually actually need remake. Let's see what we got here. PlayStation over here playing goddamn game. Why don't they remake Xenogear, the original Xenogear from PlayStation One? Yeah, that's a game that they need to remake. That actually need a remake, not just some money grab. The game actually could do great with a fresh remake, PS5 upgrade, everything. Ugh, PlayStation been just doing a whole bunch of crap. Let's see here. Why don't they remake Parasite Eve? Parasite Eve 1, they could also remake Parasite Eve 2. Those was games for PlayStation 1 as well. Um, what we got here? What we got here? They Why don't they remake Tomb Raider 1? Yes, the original Tomb Raider 1. It was the original Tomb Raider 1. I'm not sure if some people know, but PlayStation actually had it locked down exclusive when it just came out, I think. So nobody could have get it but them. You know, PlayStation been doing shady business for years. Yes, the Tomb Raider 1 was on the original PlayStation. They could remake that one. One of the best adventure game ever made was Tomb Raider, but they need to remake the original one. You know, I know a lot of people that would be doing backflips if they hear that the original Tomb Raider is being remade today. I guarantee Twitter would blow up if they hear the original Tomb Raider is going to remake on PS5, better graphics, better everything, but it's the same story and it's going to look clean as fuck. Everybody will be celebrating. I guarantee that. My girl, Melanie Mack, she would be going crazy. She loved Tomb Raider. Let's see what we got over here. We got over here. Why don't you remake this guy, one of the better RPG game that ever made? This guy one, this guy two, this guy one. I think what was this guy one for PlayStation One? I think this guy two was for PlayStation Two. Why don't you remake this guy? You're talking about you're making these goddamn game remakes that people don't nobody asks for. They're not even from PlayStation One. They're not even from PlayStation Two. You're remaking goddamn games that nobody asks for that are not really old. The games are looking good, but you want to remake them. You don't want to remake games that real fans need that actually need a remake. What we got over here? We got in this motherfucker. Let's see. These motherfucker right here, man. These motherfucker right here, man. Always trying to ice skate uphill. Let's see what we got. What we got over here. So early I drink my coffee. Maybe I need a next coffee in this bitch. Tekken Tree. They could make Tekken 3 back over. Why not? Tekken is a classic. Make Tekken 1 over. Tekken 2. I could see a brand new PS5 Tekken. Show that bitch an Xbox too. Shit. Call it a day. What we got over here? What we got over here in this Wild Arms? Wild Arms was a great RPG game. I think back in the days, one of the better RPG games. Why don't we get a Final Fantasy VIII remake? That's actually Final Fantasy VIII was PlayStation One, a game that actually need a goddamn remake. Why don't we get Final Fantasy One remake? Why don't we get Final Fantasy Two remake? Final Fantasy Three remake? Those games are great as fuck. A lot of people never really even they hear the name Final Fantasy and they know it's a great series, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that never played like the original Final Fantasy at all. They could remake that. Let's see what we got here. Soul Blade. Why don't you make the original Soul Blade over? Soul Blade 1. We're in a whole new generation. I'm sure there's some people that probably never even play Soul Blade 1. Make Soul Blade 1 and 2 over. PlayStation, they want to make all these crappy ass they want they want to make all these games that don't really need remake. Let's see what we got here. What we got in this motherfucker right now. Why don't we make Final Fantasy Tactics? Remake the original first Final Fantasy Tactics over. Like PlayStation playing. And these are just PlayStation 1. Most of these titles that I'm naming are just like I think PlayStation 1 titles. I don't think they have nothing to even do with PlayStation 2 titles yet. Why did why don't they make San Andreas, not the fake remake that they did the other day? No, make San Andreas the real remake over. A real San Andreas remake that's up to date, 2022 graphics, 2022 everything. Not that fake remake that they made. That shit wasn't nothing. And make Grand Theft Auto 3 remake as well while we at it. Let's see what we got here. Why don't we make the original God of War remake. God of War 1 and 2. Those game could use a remake. There's so many fucking titles here that they're not remaking that are great games. Let's see here. Mega Man, Mega Man X4 could remake that into a new generation, I guess. Let's see here. There's so many fucking games. Why don't they remake Soul Reaver? Legend of Kane. I don't think they even have the. I'm not sure if they even have the freaking IP for that anymore. I think they have it on their console, so I think they can continue the story, but I think they should be able to make a remake. Because I think when if you lose a contract and I think you have the game, you can continue the story. But if you already, I think you could remake the game with better graphics and better. You just can't continue the story like for a new game. Let's see. What is what do we have here? Yeah, we need that Final Fantasy 8 remake and that Final Fantasy 9 and that Final Fantasy 6 remake as well. What we got here? Silent Hill. They could remake Silent Hill 1. I don't think they could continue the story. I think Xbox probably have the. I think Xbox have the IP for Silent. What's that? Silent Hill? No, PlayStation have the IP for that. They haven't been making it. They need to remake Silent Hill 1. And they could even while they had it remake Silent Hill 2 too. Okay. And we got Resident Evil 2 and 3 remake after how long, which was surprising. I'm surprised they haven't remake Resident Evil 1. So Sony been very picky of some of the older games that they go. Resident Evil and Final Fantasy is probably the only two games that I think they go back from the original PlayStation and remake. Resident Evil is one of them, and Final Fantasy VII remake is the next one that they actually went back. Those are games that actually needed remakes, and they actually went back and make them, which was just fucking surprising. Um, let's see. Dum, dum, dum. Yeah, we definitely need our Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 remake. And why not Snake Eater remake? I'm like, they playing games, man. There's so many freaking games PlayStation could remake and stop playing. Dum, dum, dum. Ridge Race. I'm not sure if they have the. I'm not sure if they still have the IP for Ridge Race. I don't. They could remake it. I think. I don't think they could continue the story, but they definitely have Ridge Race on the original. I think PlayStation One and I think PlayStation Two as well. Um, what we got here? They need to get these Final Fantasy remakes. Street Fighter Alpha 1 and 2. Yeah, they still have the IP. Capcom have the IP for those. I'm not sure if Capcom want to remake like Street Fighter Alpha 1 or 2, but that'd be pretty cool if they decide to. That'd be pretty dope. Put them on all console, so you could have like a big community. That'd be pretty dope. Well, there's so much fucking games that PlayStation could be remaking here. Parasite Eve, Metal Gear Solid. Let's see. Dum, dum, dum. Clock Tower, Tekken 3. Yeah, PlayStation playing. There's so much games on this stuff. I'm still just waking up. I've been what PlayStation been crying about? PlayStation been crying about. They've been crying about Call of Duty. Oh, Call of Duty. This and PlayStation don't want to compete. Instead of PlayStation compete, PlayStation busy. Jim Ryan busy running around. Instead of just making sure they put out good games and spread, they still have PlayStation still have so much IPs that they're not using. I'm pretty disappointed with PlayStation 5 so far. What is PlayStation 5 best game so far? What is PlayStation 5 best game so far? Let's see. Probably Elden Ring. Yeah, Elden Ring is probably one of the best game. Yeah, but it's Elden Ring is not just for PlayStation 5. I think Elden Ring is for Xbox, PlayStation, and I think PC. So yeah, Elden Ring is pretty probably the biggest game out by far, especially for this year. Ain't none touching Elden Ring right now. Got God of War coming out soon, so that's gonna be something when that come out. So, but still, Elden Ring is probably the better game we've seen in the last 20 years. So anyway, so PlayStation, all these weird remakes that nobody asking for, they got a list of games that Sony need to be working on, and then I don't think Call of Duty. I guess we could remake. Can we remake like Call of Duty One and maybe World of War like remake? That'd be pretty dope. But they keep COD keep making every year. I'm not sure. I guess they could. It would be nice if they remake those games with like a whole new engine, like Unreal Engine 5, the new COD on Unreal Engine 5. I could see that new COD coming out, but I doubt they're gonna do that. So I'm just PlayStation need to get all of these big title out. We need real good remakes out here. I don't want to hear Jim Ryan crying and complaining about Call of Duty. Forget that. PlayStation have a lot of title. Legends of Kane, like make that. Um, Metal Gear Solid, man. Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2. Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2. Remake those games like yesterday. Oh, how did I pause my mic? Shit. Um, let's see what we got here. What was Jim Ryan saying? What Jim Ryan been crying? I know he been crying for days now. What are they saying over here? Let's see. Dum, dum. What did I say? Did I say GTA? Yeah. I want a remake of San Andreas. Not that crappy shit that they made the other day. Talking about a real remake. San Andreas, they need to remake that game like yesterday. Not that shit that they made the other day. That was a fake remake. That was like a fake upgrade. I didn't even consider that shit a remake. I don't know what the fuck what I don't know what the fuck that shit was. That shit was straight up hot garbage. Didn't do anything for San Andreas at all. Um what about this game Vandalart? What about Vandalart 1 and 2? PlayStation have so much good IPs that they're not using. It made my blood boil. Vandalart 1 and 2, Xenogear, oh my god. Um, Silent Hill 1 and 2. Like, Silent Hill 1 and 2 is mad. The graphics look like shit now if you go back and play them. But I could see a Silent Hill 1 and 2 remake for like, put the Unreal Engine 5 on them bitch. Oh my god, them shit would be amazing. People have been crying for Silent Hill forever, especially when it comes to the PlayStation community. They're not saying anything. They remaking games that people don't need, nobody asking for. The games are not even that old. Um, yeah, this guy remake this guy. Castlevania Sympathy of the Night. They need to make Castlevania Sympathy of the Night. One of the best Castlevania ever made was that game right there. I remember spending hours playing that game. I was playing it. My brother was playing. I think my cousin was playing. We would have take turn because it wasn't multiplayer, but the game was just fucking amazing. Um, I guess Tony Hawk 2 is pretty good. I think they did a remake on that. Legend of Dragoon. That was a pretty good RPG game as well. Where is Legend of Dragoon? Where is Legend of Dragoon? Sony's playing games, man. Sony playing these Mickey Mouse games. Xenogear, one of the best game ever made out there. PlayStation have the IP and not doing shit with it, but they're remaking games that don't need to be a remake. What we got over here? What is this? What is this? Remake Tomb Raider 1 and 2. The original Tomb Raider. I'm not talking about this new shit. Talking about the original Tomb Raider. What is this? Monster Rancher 2. Yeah, remake that. Tales of Destiny. Tales of Destiny was one of the better RPG game. PlayStation had the IP for that, not doing shit with it. Games that actually need to be remake. What we got over here? What we got over here? Let's see here. Legend of Canes and Soul Reaver. I don't think they don't have the IP for that. They could remake the game though. Soul Reaver, they could remake the Soul Reaver game that they have on PlayStation. Because I think they had it for PlayStation 1. I'm not sure if they had it for PlayStation 2. So I know they could remake it. I know they can't continue the story because I don't think they have the IP anymore. So they would have to just remake it. Since they love remake so much, remake games that actually need to remake. Let's see what we got over here. What we got over here. Resident Evil 1. They have a remake. They could remake Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 0. Resident Evil 0 was only for what, the GameCube? So that this would be something new for them because I don't think Resident Evil 0 was on, I don't think it came out for the rest of the consoles. I don't remember it on PlayStation. Could be wrong. I'd have to, I guess, double check. But I know they did have a Resident Evil 0 as well. Metal Gear Solid. We need to remake that game. Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2. And go right ahead, remake Metal Gear Solid 3 as well. And Snake Eater while you're at it. Soul Blade. You could remake that game. The Breath of Fire. Why don't you remake Breath of Fire 1, 2, and 3? Could see that one. That's actually one of the better RPG game that they make out there. Squaden. Why don't they remake Squaden 1, 2, and 3? PlayStation have all these games. Medal of Honor 1, PlayStation. I guess Medal of Honor 1 was on PlayStation 1. Interesting. They could remake that game too, though. Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer was one of them. I think they had the original Ridge Racer for PlayStation 1. They could remake that game and stop playing games. PlayStation doing all this goddamn crying. Jim Ryan. They call him Lion Jim Ryan. I don't know. They be having these weird nickname for his ass. Let's see what we have over here. What else game? While Tales of Destiny. Yeah, Tales of Destiny was one of the better RPG game that PlayStation have that I guess they haven't used that. Haven't used it in a while, forever, I guess. PlayStation have too much games that they're not using, and Jim Ryan doing too much crying and complaining.